to Michael Bauch, another power partner who's a videographer who we've used and referred to our clients. I wanted to ask Michael, what types of clients have you seen get the most mileage out of your videography?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. I've been doing video for quite a long time now. And it's funny, I might talk a little bit about business during the pandemic, if you don't mind, just because it was sort of a pivoting point for me. And in a strange way, at first, of course, it was very scary. I think for everybody, it's still scary. But as far as business went, I saw a gigantic pivot, what people were thinking the value of video was. And I think it really changed. I mean, we all were on Zoom for so long. I think we got tired of Zoom all the time. But the power of telling a story for an organization or a nonprofit, I think really gained traction during that time. And in a strange way, I ended up working on some of my favorite projects recently during the. And actually, one of the ones I really enjoyed was the one that you had sent my way, the Chirp organization, Alan. Homelessness. They basically help people that are homeless, and we created a whole education series for them. So I guess there's a lot of directions I could take, but as far as marketing goes, did you want me to concentrate on kind of? Yeah. I mean, I belong to several organizations, Long Beach Chamber of Commerce, Power Partners, of course, and there's another one called AFP, which is an organization for nonprofits, because I tend to do a lot of things for nonprofits. So really with those three organizations and really getting myself out there and doing projects, that's really what seems to sell things. I know so many people do things online, but I find if I can meet them and film one project for them, that's really the key. And sometimes it's a matter of filming like an event, like I did an event for Precious Lamb, a nonprofit here in Long Beach. I filmed their gala event a few years back. I gave them a really great deal to film it. But then I told them, hey, filming this is one thing, but how about I create a video that we actually show during your event? How about we tell the story of Precious Lamb, and I can create that for you. And next year, let's show that on the big screen and really tell the story of Precious Lamb. And they went for it. And it really kind of changed the whole dynamic as to me, just like filming what's happening as opposed to telling a story.
Well, like that was one of the questions is like how, when it comes to marketing, are you making suggestions like before, during, or after you start filming to say, look, this is how this video should be used or can be used as a good way to help your organization?
Sure. One of the things I tell people is really the length of video is pretty important. And it really depends on what kind of event you're doing. Like for Precious Lamb, when we're putting up that big video to show on the big screen, I say, let's aim for something that's maybe 5 to 6 minutes, right? But then for their social media, what we do is we recut that video to make it into smaller chunks that people can handle on social media. So we'll take that 5 minutes and I may make 5 shorter videos that are maybe only a minute. So basically they're getting dual usage out of the footage that we shoot and out of the we put together. So once they put it on their social media, they can kind of send that out over time and attract more people to their organization. They see that 1 minute video and we want to make them see more. They want to see more.
So the cost, or you start with a full length video and then break it up from there?
A lot of times, yes. Sometimes I also go the other way around. Like if an organization, especially a nonprofit, is really tight on their budget, what I may do is come in and say, hey, you know what, let's just make you guys a 1 minute video on what you're doing today. 1 minute that you can put out on social media. And that basically kind of gets their feet wet as to what they can do with that, the power of that 1 minute video. And then once they see that, kind of take the next steps and say, oh, let's tell a bigger story of your organization, or let's do this on a, every couple months. Let's keep people up to date what your organization is doing. So we'll create another 1 minute video. So it's really about them kind of seeing my work for the first time and then taking it up to the next level, sometimes over time. So it's kind of going the opposite direction. It's taking the 1 minute video and creating longer ones or more, or the other way is we create one big video for a gala and then we break it up. But again, the key is like the timing and how long the videos are.
Right. So I'm sure you know what your costs are to create videos and, you know, for quoting and everything, but has inflation affected you in any way?
Sure. I mean, everything is definitely more expensive now. So it really depends on what's involved in creating the video. A lot of times for me, it's mostly labor. So it's really about my time and how much I put in. I mean, there's normally not a lot of materials involved if we're covering an organization that already has their setup and all those things. If we're not buying new things, we can keep the costs, I think, pretty competitive because we're not buying more materials. We're using what we have, and I'm basically putting in time and effort to create the story.
I didn't get into detail what Michael does, you know, but he does specialize with nonprofits. He kind of does what he loves to do with the nonprofit and provides a high quality. Did you want to talk about that, how people can use that book you were talking about, Michael?
Sure, yeah. So I've got a new, I'll call it a new toy this year. That's sort of a mixture of old school and new school. We all know about social media and online videos and all these great things, but this is something new, and I'll try to show it on the screen and see what you guys think. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is something that I created for Precious Land, that nonprofit that I was talking about. We created several videos for them, but then what I did is I made this book for them. So it's going to be kind of hard to see. Basically, they open it up, and it's all custom printed, but it's got an HD screen inside, and it's got some great stills. These are actually all stills from the video, by the way. So these are all stills that are printed on there. But this is a pretty amazing marketing piece because basically they can take this wherever they go. If they meet with a client, they can pull it out and show it to them. It requires no Wi-Fi, so they could be anywhere. It's rechargeable. So, and then if they have a donor that's really someone that they want to connect with, or a potential donor, this makes a pretty amazing gift to have them share, because then that donor has it on their coffee table and hopefully gets more donors to join in their cause.
Great, Michael. Thanks for sharing that.